started live over here already, right? So of course,
If I point at you, you will know I won, right? Would you? Okay,
yeah.
good. So I can probably do it that way.
All right, good.
But
Uh, so let me say a pleasant good afternoon to our listeners. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director of Batson and Associates. Of course, we discussing health, as usual, health from a natural and integrated perspective. Last night, we actually had a really great discussion. I know we had to do some we have to do some adjustments for our Monday night symposiums that we're having. We actually have four Mondays that were actually scheduled to do that hormonal disruption program. We were actually able to do Monday the 8th. However, we were getting some issues as regards to the one following that, which should have been the 15th. So we couldn't have it Monday the 15th. So we actually rescheduled that to Wednesday, which was last night, which was the 17th, right? But we will go back, God's willing, to our regular schedule the next coming Monday here, which is going to be what? That's 15 and 7. That's what, the 22nd. So that's actually going to be Monday the 22nd. Look out for that, where we will be again discussing hormonal disruption in women. That is, of course, a question and answer session. You notice with our live now, we actually have some of our products displayed here. Our Alkagen water. I mean, you could just look at the water and see, how clear that water really is. And I'm an advocate of Alkagen and alkaline water for years now. Having been a practitioner for over 15 years now and dealing with so many different issues in the body. Persons have
15
problems.
minutes after 2 p.m. Good afternoon, listeners, on DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. It's now time for today's Support Your Health Naturally, a sponsored one-hour program which goes until 3:15. And today we have on time, we made some adjustments, and that is with Dr. Jason Batson and his crew with a new system. And you can tell us how it's sounding, by the way, and also participate by calling. We'll give you those numbers at the same time. So Dr. Jason Batson is with us. Doctor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, DJ Mamu. And of course, let me just tell our audience that we are again live on our social media platforms, two of them. So we are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook, on YouTube, we're Batson and Associates Trinidad. And of course, let me say again a pleasant good afternoon to the listeners of DJ Mamu and DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. Batson and Associates are an organization of trained consultants who really are concerned about your health. Again, just from a different perspective, a different viewpoint. I often tell persons, when you look at medicine and you look at nutrition, what nutrition really is, and that is, of course, one of my areas and our area of strong point, or as it relates to understanding nutrition and understanding what the body really requires. A lot of the times we have individuals who have so many challenges, so many issues associated with diabetes, with hypertension, issues associated with bowel issues. So you have persons who may be diagnosed with inflammatory bowel conditions, so things like Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis. So often persons will ask, what does Batson and Associate really specialize in? And as I often tell them, we are trained consultants in a number of different modalities as it relates to diseases. So of course we have a great line of product, and as persons trained in supplementation, clinical nutrition, medical nutrition, which is nutrition for disease, we actually have the ability to assist so many individuals in that particular aspect. So, that is something to keep in mind. We have some upcoming symposiums, where we will actually be highlighting individuals as it relates to those particular issues associated with, as we were talking about last night, hormonal disruption. A lot of women facing problems with things like polycystic ovaries, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. So the listeners again of DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, keep in mind that it is a live program. It is a question and answer aspect. I will speak on various health issues, but of course, if you have any questions regarding what we do at Batson and Associates or your personal health issue, you can feel free of course, to ask. There are some questions that we had from a previous program, so I will touch on some of those questions, and of course, again, give some enlightenment as regards to your particular health issue. So the topic that we're going to discuss today is the topic of poor circulation, and we're going to touch on poor circulation because poor circulation is something that affects so many individuals as it relates to the body. We're going to highlight the different types of circulation. We're going to also highlight what are some of the symptomologies associated with poor circulation. So, when you're having things like pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet, most diabetics we know as well. And at Batson and Associates, we do actually have an integrated diabetes center where we actually have the ability to assist individuals as it relates to addressing those particular diabetic situations. There are those of you who have diabetes and your blood sugar is not going down. You have serious elevation of blood sugar on a daily basis, where you may be testing, you may be on a protocol, you may be taking metformin, for example. You might be using 2 metformin in the morning, 2 metformin in the evening. You may also be using an additional diabetic medication, maybe a Januvia, maybe you might be using a diamicron in addition with that as well. So the thing is, the point I'm making is that at Batson and Associates, at the Integrative Diabetes Center, we actually now help diabetics to get even more improvement based on their diabetic situation. And that is whether you are type 1 diabetic, type 2 diabetic, or even type 3 diabetes, because of, which is actually gestational diabetes, which is what women have during pregnancy. So the thing is, from an integrated perspective, we're actually able to help persons in that particular manner. And of course, we will highlight one of the products we carry at Batson and Associates, which is the Regeneration Circulation Tea. Now, if you look at this tea carefully, you'll realize it's a well-crafted tea. So it actually has the ability now to give assistance to persons who have poor circulation issues, but especially as it relates to hypertension. Right, so we're going to touch on hypertension a bit. Let me, of course, say good afternoon to some of our persons joining us on our social media. Keep in mind, we are live on our Facebook currently, which is Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon, to Miss Joan Williams Roach. She says, good day to the best doctor. Thank you for that. Just Adlin says, good day to all. Don Lowe, good afternoon, Dr. Batson and everyone. And Kathleen Ishmael, she says, always a beautiful blessing. So remember, we actually now trying to standardize a lot of the lies that we have, because, sometimes we do an additional work. We also have an upcoming symposium for the Chaguanas area. So make sure and take advantage of that, where we actually having a symposium. That symposium for the Chaguanas office is actually taking place on Sunday, the 25th of August. Yeah, that's Sunday, the 25th of August. And that's going to be taking place right here in Chaguanas on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. And of course, that is really geared to assist in a number of things. A lot of new things coming from Batson and Associates, making a lot of adjustments. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Miss Gloria Edwards, working really, really hard. There was actually, we're actually going to be doing a lot of upcoming work with the persons like Gloria and a lot of our other associates, really champions of wellness to assist persons, in that aspect associated with lignins, a really great product that was brought to the market that assists in so many things, especially stroke. Last night, we were actually discussing strokes because it was a question that was asked on our program last night, which was the replacement program for Monday gone, which would have been the 15th, but we had it yesterday, which was the 17th. And that is an entire segment, a 5-part series that speaks about hormonal disruption. Now, one of the things that happens to a lot of women with hormonal disruption is situations associated with improper sleep. They actually have serious problems as it relates to the problems with sleep. you have issues associated with mental and emotional disruption. So your nerves are seriously affected. So you find a female who suffers from postmenopausal syndrome is going to have a lot of symptomology as it relates to serious uh, disruptions in the central nervous system. So you find an individual is going to have serious problems with their nerves. So you're going to have problems with depression. You're going to have problems with anxiety. You're going to have problems with insomnia. Or if you do sleep, your quality of sleep is not as it's supposed to. So the quality of sleep is significantly compromised. So that is also something that we actually work and handle at Batson Associates. We actually have persons live standing by who could actually take your calls now, and those numbers are of course listed there. We are having a discussion. We are live on djmamuradio.tt.com. We are joined with Mr. Farouk Bash, better known or affectionately known as DJ Mamu, right? And of course, we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Keep in mind, of course, our international consultants, or not consultants, rather, our international clients. You know, you do have that option of getting a consultation done. Via Zoom or via WhatsApp. You know, we have so many persons questioning. And of course, to get the products, that lignins products, of course, going to be available on that landing page together with some of the other products of Batson Associates. Of course, keep in mind our Nerve Restore, very, very popular product. That's actually this product here. And, you know, Nerve Restore is actually a product that was primarily designed, excuse me, to actually assist with issues associated with um, problems with sleep, central nervous system imbalance. Good. So, of course, feel free to give us a call. Those numbers again listed right there: 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. We're going to go over to DJ Mamu. mamuradiott.com, and of course we're going to allow him to remind the listeners there of the telephone numbers and the locations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson, and once again, welcome to the live on djmamuradiott.com. I love the page, how it looks, and there's more work to be done. As he mentioned a while ago, you can see the numbers right away: 222-8261 and 314-9975. And things are working out with respect to the technical aspect of the radio and the video itself. But as Dr. Jason Batson would always say, no work, no hard work, and things will not work for you. So you have to be working very hard. And he's a man believes in hard work. Apparently, hard work actually makes him look physically fit. But that is going to be for another program. Right. So the number to call, if you'd like to get in the program, 337-2287, 337-2287. And you also have, for the international listeners, 1-868-337-2287. Very simple and easy numbers to remember to get in the program. Or if you prefer text to be personalized, that is not a problem. We'll handle that too. I just mentioned the issue, and Doctor will answer the question posed to the text. Thank you, listeners out there, and say hello quickly to Srimati Rajwati Rupnarayan Ji out there, last number 2, and she has a question to Dr. Jason Batson. Doctor, I wouldn't mention that question at all. You're supposed to know that
I
question.
know, I know what that question is about, and I told them, before the month, out here. We right now we have a prodigal son waiting to come home. So the last flight, he on the last flight.
Right. Okay. Don't make it sound so kind of, last flight kind of thing now. Let's mention he's on a flight on his way home. That's all. Right. So Rajwati Ruparanji, your stuff is coming home to you soon. Also to Carol Mirage, hello to you. Good afternoon, Mr. DJ. It's very nice to hear the doctor live on the program today. Thank you, Carol. And to Alvina Ramdan Singh, her husband Michael. They hail from San Fernando. To Molly Ramdan Singh also. Hi to you all there in USA, and to all the fans of DJ Mamu radiott.com abroad listening to the program right now, thank you for joining us. Your health is very important, hence the reason why we've decided to have this program 1 hour, Support Your Health Naturally. Now, the reason why it's on a Thursday, it's because Dr. Jason Batson believes in the stars, the horoscopes. If the sign says it's a good day today, he's going to work on that. And he has decided over the years, I'm saying over the years, 14 years hosting programs on a Thursday. It has been very successful for him, very lucrative, and he continues to add on to it. Now he's expanding into the YouTube, into the FB department, and all the various media accessories because he wants support your health naturally to be all over the place, making sure that you're well taken care of. Isn't that so, Doctor?
Yes, exactly. My sentiments exactly. Because just after last time when we were having the discussion, because that hormonal disruption, as I mentioned, is a serious issue that a lot of women face. After we finish the women aspect of it, we're going to actually do a next, maybe it may not necessarily be 4 part, it might be 2 part. For the men, highlighting hormonal disruption in men, things like low testosterone, things like problems with erectile dysfunction, problems with prostate. Prostate issues continue to be a serious issue that affect a number of individuals as it relates to having a healthy prostate. So definitely, Batson Associates is continually working assiduously to ensure that we bring good products to our clients, that we really assist clients from that integrative perspective. And the good thing about it is that we can work with anyone. A lot of persons confuse this thing and they mix it up. Quite unfortunate for themselves and the persons that should be helping them, where, they believe that there's some division in medicine. But the thing is, let me give you an example. So let's say you come to us and you have cancer. Right, so you have been diagnosed with cancer, whatever type of cancer it is, colorectal cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, because you have thousands of different types of cancer, right? The part of the body where it affects, of course, it could be one thing, and then of course the type of cancer, if it is a very aggressive form of cancer, you're going to need some help. So the thing is, regardless of what treatment protocol you choose, whether it is to deal with it from a nutritional perspective, where you're going to change up your diet, you're going to have to make some adjustments, increase water in the body, because cancer, of course, is an indication that there are a number of imbalances in the body, primarily imbalances associated with the immune system, imbalances associated with the gastrointestinal system, which comprises 70% of the immune system, sorry. So it means, what I'm basically saying is that you would need assistance from a nutritional perspective, and that's what Batson Associates does. So it's not a matter of if you come to Batson Associates, you're not going to your doctor that you're accustomed going. It's nothing like that. There are multiple facets and multiple ways to help individuals. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of persons are so ignorant and wrapped up in whatever they think they know, which is they really don't know that there are ways and means to help themselves. When you look at immunity, we're actually going to be doing a program later on this afternoon. That is from 6 to 6:30, and that's going to be on our lives, which is on the Facebook Batson Associates Limited and our Instagram Batson Associates Trinidad, and we're going to be discussing immunity. And the reason why we're going to do that program is because I don't know if you all heard, we have a lot of dengue on the rise again. So we have a lot of people getting dengue. And if you ever get dengue, you will know that dengue is not a good thing to have. Dengue is not nice. You will want to be verbally abusive to every mosquito you meet after that because of how you're going to feel. Dengue, and the thing is, what makes it even worse is people have to understand that COVID, which I always tell persons, COVID never went anywhere. COVID is just, a little mutated in different ways now. Right? So it's very easy to get a lot of issues with respiratory problems, especially persons who suffer from things like asthma, sinusitis, persons who have things like tuberculosis. So if you know persons who are diagnosed with those things and you need help, which you do need help from a nutritional perspective, then allow Batson Associates to do that for you. So you have those telephone numbers down there. We are live on our social media platform, Facebook, Batson Associates Limited. We have those telephone numbers there. You can actually call, book your appointments for either your consultation, or you just kill, as they say, two birds with one stone, and actually coming and do that blood analysis, which we're going to speak about the blood analysis again in a little bit. What really is blood analysis? I often tell persons that there is life and death in the blood. If you have unhealthy blood, you're going to have an unhealthy body, because blood is primarily responsible for transporting a number of things through those various parts of the body, hormones, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, oxygen, nutrients, a number of things to the body. So you find that if you have unhealthy blood, which a blood analysis can show you immediately, because it's live blood that we're actually taking. And if you're seeing that blood is not oxygenated properly, if you're seeing those cells are not flowing freely, then of course that is an indication of problem. Remember, this is one drop of blood that we actually take. But when you look at what that really signifies, it really gives us the opportunity to show the root cause or the foundation aspect of the body. Because you cannot have blood that is sticking up together, or red blood cells that are sticking constantly together and expect to be healthy. It is impossible. That cannot happen. Good. So it means, again, in a situation like that, you need to have the blood analysis done, that live blood, that dry blood. And that is something that we do at Batson Associates. Keep in mind, we do have open clinic days. Those open clinic days means that you do not necessarily have to have an appointment, but what you really now have is you can walk in, just make sure and fast for 2 hours if you are interested in doing that magnetic resonance analysis scan, which again, we're going to elaborate on what does that show. What is the condition of the circulation to your brain? Are you getting proper blood flow to your brain? Are you getting problems with dizziness, lightheadedness? Is it that you're beginning to experience situations where you now have issues with your memory? So short-term memory, so you're getting problems to remember what you went into your refrigerator for, or where you rest down your bunch of keys, or what you have to do today. So you find that you're not as sharp as the memory is concerned. That is, of course, an indication that something is beginning to go wrong. And, as we often say, the old people have a saying, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So, if you want to know what is going on with you, you may be a diabetic and you're interested in improving blood circulation. You are a diabetic who are beginning to experience problems with your eyes, or you never checked your eyes. That is something that you would want to be proactive with, because, one of the symptomologies and complications associated with diabetes is poor peripheral circulation, which is poor circulation in the extremities. So once you have poor peripheral circulation, again, it is an indication that you are going to have problems where you can actually lose your eyesight. You might be diagnosed, or a doctor, you might go to an ophthalmologist who is an eye specialist, and the doctor, of course, is telling you now, as an eye specialist, that you have bleeding behind your eyes, or you have detached retina. You're beginning to have swelling at the back of the eyes, high levels of inflammation. The doctor might share with you that you have glaucoma, which is high ocular pressure. And of course, those again are indications of serious problems that could lead to blindness. So before that happens, schedule a consultation, schedule an appointment, that blood analysis with Batson Associates, where we actually get an overall view of your circulation. We get an overall view of the gastrointestinal system, an overall view of your hydration. There are so many persons, you are so dehydrated. You're drinking water, but your body is not utilizing the water. And that is, of course, where alkaline water comes in. Because you have a premium alkaline water, which has the ability to do a number of things. It has the ability to oxygenate the body from a cellular level. That is going to help anyone who has a poor circulation problem. So again, reach out to Batson Associates. We have some announcements that we're going to be giving shortly, but keep in mind, we are live. We are live with our very good friend, Farouk Bash, better known as DJ Mamu, and we are discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. We are live on our social media platforms. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Mr. Clifton Henry. He says, good day, Doc. And of course, we are back over to DJ Mamu, and he can remind those listeners on djmamu.radio.tt.com as to ask their questions on that particular platform. And of course, we will answer here. DJ
Yeah.
Mamu?
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson. And for the listeners, again, if you'd like to pose your questions to us, it's very, very easy. 337-2287. For international listeners, 1-868-337-2287. And I would read the question to the doctor, and he in turn would respond to your question. And doctor was speaking a while ago about how people handle their lives, how they go about their lives. And every program that is aired on this radio station, and not particularly only on this station, but the other stations that he works on, 4 radio stations per day on a Thursday, and also on YouTube and Facebook and so on. So he's ensuring that he has what you call encircling from all various vantage points where people who are perhaps not in a position to listen to the radio or maybe to be on Facebook or YouTube, but in some way possible to listen to a little piece of another radio station whereby they gather information about their health. And that is how people understand that when you're working and you're doing extra work, the body is going to send a signal to you. Listen, you were working me, boy, kind of slow down now, because I will shut down, And when I shut down, you will be in some real problems. You may not be able to walk to go to Dr. Jason's office. So please listen carefully to what the doctor has to say. Those people, we already crossed 6 months in the year, heading down to the Christmas season already. I hear some parang music the other day, doctor.
Yeah.
People like they're rushing this parang thing, but anyway, we don't want to rush it here. But at the same time, think about yourself. 6 months already gone this year. And what did you do to make a change? What did you do to make a change in your life? You're 65 years, you're 70 years. Men, women, PMS, men have their problems too. So why not head to Dr. Batson and talk to him? Have a little consultation. Consultation is free. All you have to do is open your mouth and say what you have to say, and that is free. And he is going to give you the consultation and tell you, listen, you have to do this and do that, and then we'll get things working well for you. Because at age 65 and 70, if you do not take it in time, they say a stitch in time saves 9. Well, I'm not sure how much it's going to save, but you need to save your life as long as possible. 70, that's 70. But some people are going beyond 70, 80, 90, even 100. Right. You may ask yourself, why 100? But if the Lord say, I'm going to give you 100, take your 100 and hush them out. You understand? Right? So again, let me say quickly before we go back to the doctor, hi to Molly Kedan, and to Ricky, they're listening to us. Sumati, Lady in Green, very popular on this radio station. Sumati, Lady in Green, not all that today, but she listens to this station and she listens to this particular doctor, whatever station he goes on with his religious programs. And then you have Mary Reshma Maraj of New York. Well, she's in New York these days and hoping to come home very soon again, this time to ensure that she makes the contact with the doctor to get her supplies. Raquel Paul of Arima, hello to you and the Arima listeners, Zenora and the crew. And to Azam of Florida, well, he's the guy who has reached the age of 65 and he was asking questions about men's issues. So I told him, I gave him your number to call. And if he didn't get on to you, he'd get on to the office and perhaps they'll make arrangements for him to call and speak with you concerning certain issues with men as they age. So too with women. Some women, they say when they age, they get more sweeter, they get more juicier.
In most cases, yeah, definitely. But the thing is, keep in mind, you could always better your best, so we could get you sweeter.
You heard that? Better your best.
We're not discussing diabetes there. We're not talking sweeter as in diabetes. But that is sweetness we don't want. We don't want that kind of sweetness.
You don't want that kind of sweetness.
Yeah, definitely. So, yes.
Take it away, doctor.
Yeah, so of course, that's something as DJ Mamu recommended with consultation, let me just clarify. If it's a basic thing, a lot of persons will come in the office, you want to purchase like maybe a nerve restore, and we could give you some information on the product and that kind of thing. As regards to your consultation, in terms of your executive consultation, that has a price attached to it. And that consultation is in depth in the sense that whatever blood tests you have, we usually ask that you bring those along with you. Let's say, for example, you may have an issue where you would have done an ultrasound. So you might be a female who may have problems with polycystic ovaries or fibroids, ovarian cysts. You would definitely have to bring along a recent abdominal pelvic ultrasound or ultrasound of the uterus to, of course, give us indication as regards, because remember, our objective is to get improvement for you. Good. So the thing is, there has to be a before and after. You must have a particular point of reference as regards to that, and that is where those tests are concerned. Now, there's a question that was asked here. Just Adeline rather says, do I need an appointment to get a blood analysis? You don't necessarily need an appointment. However, we do because we do carry or conduct walk-in clinics, and the walk-in clinics are all of the clinics that we have. However, we do ask at times that you just call and let us know, and you must come in 2 hours. You have to fast for 2 hours if you intend to do that blood analysis. Okay, and of course, you have the telephone numbers there. You can always call to get information as regards to the office that is closer to you. We, of course, have St. James, which is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. We have Shogunas, which is first floor Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. We also have Debe, which is the corner of Ramson Mooch Trace, and the SSA Main Road in Debe, Pinal, Debe rather, and of course Tobago, which is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. We will be in Tobago, God's willing, that's Batson Associates, coming up the week before the month ends into the following week of August. So you can, of course, call that telephone number for Tobago and get your information. You're very welcome, Just Adeline, as I said, and you can come and have those tests done. Keep in mind, we do operate walk-in clinics, but if you have intentions of doing the test, then which includes the live blood, the dry blood, and the magnetic resonance analysis, you would have to fast for 2 hours. Okay. Keep in mind too, as well, those of you, when you get your appointments, try and keep the appointments, because again, we have a lot of backup taking place where, if you don't get an appointment, especially if I have to do your review, it means that you need to keep that appointment, because it's going to throw you back 6 months after. So in other words, if you have an appointment for July and you do not keep the appointment, the next one you might get by the next year March. So, try your utmost and try and keep your appointment, and let us help you to help yourselves. We actually have some announcements as regards to, again, our symposiums, our upcoming symposiums. The Shogunas Office Central Symposium is going to be taking place Sunday, the 25th of August, and that's at head office, 182 Montrose Main Road, Shogunas. Look out for the registration link to register. We're actually going to give you a link to register. We also ask that you call the office, those numbers that are listed there, to actually get early registration because of the amount of persons that we usually have. That we're going to have it in the afternoon. So we're looking at the first one would be from 12:30 to 2:30, and then the second one is going to be from 3:30 to 5:30. So you'll be able to go to church in the morning, and then after your church, you have something to eat, and you come to that symposium. Those of you who may have things to do within the 2 early afternoon, and then of course you have the later symposium, which goes from 3:30 to 5:30. So it's 2 hours, 2 hours. So it's very easy. What you're going to get there. DJ Mamu could tell you. DJ Mamu actually came to one of the symposiums that we had in Debe, and
yes. Yes, Doctor. I was there in the Debe region. Yes. And I attended the first one because I wanted to know exactly what it is all about. So I was there for the first one, and it was well organized with the question and answer segment. And to the persons who spoke, they spoke with authority, because these are professional people. When you ask questions, they give it to you from a doctoral point of view. In other words, they know what they're saying to you. So I had my 2 cups of coffee, which was shipped to me. Yeah, I didn't pay because they say paying is free. And it was, what was the lady's name? The secretary there,
Miss Roma.
Roma, yes, Roma. Roma saw me and she said, "You look like DJ Mamu." I said, "You found She said, yes. So here's a cup of tea. So I had my nice cup of tea. And looking at me, she realized, well, perhaps I need another one. So yeah,
So
I
she
was
gave you,
looking kind of secondish like. So she
yeah,
sent, she sent
definitely.
another one for me. She sent
Yeah,
another one for me. Very tasty. And the
yes.
ambience it's air conditioned, and the ambience there. And I know the one in Montrose, the plaza, there's also air conditioned. So those of you who would like to sit for 2 hours, not because you want to sit for 2 hours, you want to pay attention to what is being said and
Yes.
learn from it, because they're saying you're never too old to learn. So
Yes.
learn because of the technology that's available now. Everybody on Facebook and what's the other book again? Not copybook,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes. Not
All these. I see the change to Twitter to X now.
Oh,
So
seriously? Okay.
yeah,
I didn't even know that.
yeah,
Okay.
Twitter is now known as X. So
At X. Okay.
I'm trying to keep up with the technology, to tell you the truth.
Yes, yes. We
But
have to. Well,
yeah,
we have
because
to. And Batson and Associates being an organization of trained consultants, and of course, reaching out to that younger market as well too. Because I'll tell you something. Gone are the years where disease was isolated to the elderly.
yeah,
Long ago, you had persons only getting problems with arthritis in the
60s
60s,
and so on. Yeah.
70s, 80s. But I actually had an arthritis patient that was 16 years. That was the youngest arthritis patient that I have ever had. I have had stroke patients that are 19. I remember dealing with a young lady in Tobago who was only 22, and she got a massive stroke. Currently, we do a lot of work with strokes, that integrative stroke and diabetes center. Of course, a lot more coming when we complete that Londonville office. Very soon, we'll be actually in Londonville as well. So, and that is going to be, for our ground floor operations, because in Central, we have a first floor office in
Montrose.
Montrose.
Yes.
But those of you, because we're actually doing a lot of work with arthritis. So those of you who have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, various forms of arthritis, that clinic in Londonville is really catering to that. We're going to have a lot of stuff as it relates to gastrointestinal health, really dealing with persons who have things like Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, various inflammatory bowel conditions. And, as regards to that, we need to ensure that these things are, properly dealt with. And that is where that Londonville office comes in. So, a lot of advancement taking place, a lot of improvement as we go along, a little challenges as we go along. That's life. We realize too, a lot of individuals, you have to balance from an economic perspective, excuse me. And, that is something we understand. A lot of persons.
Dr. Jason Batson, while you're sipping, you're a man that you believe in the Ayurvedic way and the medicines and so on, and a part of the Chinese also. Now, there
Yes.
must be a reason for you to believe in that, because you would have done a lot of studies with respect to these two individuals.
Yeah.
And the studying would have brought you closer to understanding why people should be using Ayurvedic medicine and some of the Chinese stuff, because they have done a lot of research into ensuring that what they put out in the market there is
Mhm.
is 100% correct, because they want to have a name at the end of it all, that this product is a good product. Dr. Jason, I want to take you back quickly before I cross to you. You remember
Yeah.
the days of the Chinese medicine
Yes.
and the shilling oil?
Yeah.
Right. In a little bottle, and you just take a little bit and you put it by the nostril, and you take a little sniff now. Right?
Yes.
Right. That bottle of Chinese medicine is the same Chinese medicine till today,
Yeah.
It had changed.
Yeah. The
It
quality.
means, yeah, it means they have developed something that over the years people have grown accustomed with it, right? And that is something that Dr. Jason really, he would go out there, do his research, and for 14, 15 years now, this man has been trying his best to make sure that people feel well. And the old people say, when you could do something to make me feel good, I will bless you. And that ton load of blessing this man has on his shoulders. God continues to guide and protect him wherever he goes, wherever he drives, whoever he visits. He has this magical touch, this aura about him that you're going to get better at Jason's, Dr. Jason Batson's Support Your Health Naturally. Yes, doctor?
Definitely, totally agreed. And just to extend on that, that is a lot of the products that we carry, like for example, the Nerve Restore. Because I don't know if you're aware, DJ Mamu, this month they're actually recognizing Minority Mental Health Awareness. There are so many individuals right now as it relates to mental health, and that's something that we don't discuss. And there are a lot of persons. Depression is on the rise among the very young. We have very young people who are actually committing suicides, who have serious problems with depression. Then we also have the use of so many types of recreational drugs that a lot of young people getting involved in. So they need to have some sort of awareness that you're young, yes, but that don't make you invincible. And you need to take care of yourself. That product, that prodigal son product that we have coming in, is noted for cleansing and detoxifying 7 channels of the body. Kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. As it relates to the Nerve Restore, a small bottle, but a product that packs a powerful punch. Just last night, there was a client saying that is Miss Kathleen Ishmael. She basically gave a testimony last night where she said that product gives you such excellent uninterrupted sleep, and it's true. It really balances your chakras, as it were. DJ Mamu highlighted the importance of Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine, which I'm a huge advocate of. A lot of these studies that I would have had to do encompassed those 2 modalities of medicine, as it relates to, and that is what integrative medicine really is. It's an integration of a lot of different modalities as it relates to medicine, including allopathic, or what is known as Western medicine. So hence the reason, we are open to things like various types of blood tests. If you have to do an ESR, for example, which stands for erythrocyte sedimentation ratio, we could actually have you sent to do that test. And from an empirical perspective, or from the perspective of empirical data, we could now track your improvement subsequent to that after the treatment protocol is completed. I hope I didn't lose anybody there with that, but all that is basically saying is that when you come to Batson Associates, we give you a protocol, we do a before and then we do a after. So the improvement is there, and that applies even for persons with kidney problems. There are a lot of people now, DJ Mamu, because of uncontrolled hypertension, they fall in the category of having serious kidney and renal problems. Batson Associates has an integrative kidney or renal protocol that we recommend for individuals to assist them. So you could come to us with a stage 5 kidney in terms of your the glomerular filtration rate. So there's actually a measurement that they look at with your kidneys, and it's called an EGFR, which stands for glomerular filtration rate, which actually tells you the level at which the kidney has reached. Now, if you are stage 5 is very bad, because it means you're functioning somewhere in the vicinity of maybe about 10% of your kidneys functioning. So that is a serious situation that requires serious adjustment to your diet, to your lifestyle, looking at various mineral imbalances in the body, different imbalances in the body. You have to do your blood analysis. You're going to have to do that live blood, that dry blood, that magnetic resonance analysis. We're going to have to send you to do kidney profiles, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, based on that information, now your protocol is designed and you're given instruction, diets, whatnot. And once you follow through on that, the results is amazing. That's why we decided to do that PMS program that we're doing every Monday now. We always encourage women on that. We got a little thrown off this week because of the setup that we're doing here now. So we had some technical difficulty and we had to reschedule that till last night. We did have some persons on there, but I do apologize to those of you who look forward to it on Monday, which was the 15th. But of course, keep in mind the following Monday that we have coming here, God's willing, which is the 22nd, we should be having that program scheduled for 8:30, and that is the hormonal disruption program. So feel free, of course, to give us your information. Keep in mind, we also have Nerve Restore on special this month. You actually have a discount on that great product, Nerve Restore, that actually assists in excuse me, things like sleep, depression, anxiety. So all women who have problems with menopause, if you have serious or severe menopausal challenges, so things like hot flashes, things like depression, anxiety, irregular heartbeat, panic attacks, feel free to call and get some information on that product, as well as the circulation regeneration tea. That circulation regeneration tea, of course, this product here is actually a very good tasting tea that has the ability to deal with poor circulation in the body. So those of you who may have issues associated with pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning on their feet, you may be having problems with dizziness, lightheadedness, or you may be having swelling in the ankle. You know, I always tell persons, when you're having swelling in the ankle, the instep, when you're getting things like pins and needles, cramping in the calves, burning under your feet, it is a clear indication of poor circulation, which is poor systemic circulation, which is circulation below the heart. Some persons may actually have poor pulmonary circulation, which is poor circulation above the heart. So that is circulation here. And stroke patients, people who end up getting strokes, whether they are ischemic strokes, hemorrhagic strokes, that is the part of the body where you have issues with the poor circulation. So again, feel free to give us a call or visit. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Keep in mind, we have our trained consultants at all of our offices. Those locations, again, first floor of Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. Those telephone numbers are there. And of course, you can call and get information for all of the other offices. We have Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. I actually have an open clinic there, tomorrow, please God. And we normally adjust the days accordingly. Keep in mind, we also have Debe, which is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road. In Debe, a lot of things coming to that office very soon, where we'll be actually be resuming a lot of the services that we have or had there before. So again, you can call and get that information. We are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. Keep in mind to follow the page, like us, share this valuable information that we're providing here with you. And of course, any questions, keep in mind it is a live interactive segment, so you can speak to us before the program is completed. It's actually 2:59. Excuse me. We go until 3:15, God's willing. And let me go over to DJ Mamu. I believe he has a question. DJ Mamu, sir.
Yes, some additives. We have Bindra Basad of Florida back home after a couple weeks in the U.S. business, and he actually listened to the program in Florida. He's back home, and he's hoping that he will get a supply of S, and that will be coming to you soon. Boy Salik of Malabar Road, Arima. Hello to you, DJ. Remember your friend, your Maxi friend? Yes, man. How will I forget you, my friend? Boy Salik of Malabar, Arima. Nice to hear from you there. And keep well. Even though you're getting down or getting up in age, remember to visit the office and get all those organs checked. Now, the one that you have pack up, the one that you're using right now, get it checked, right? And make sure everything is working well. Sumati Karim, good afternoon to you, Sumati. She's a loyal fan of this radio station. And I have here Sairam from Alan and Linda David of abroad. Thank you, lady and gentlemen. Always nice to hear from these foreigners when they listen to the station. DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. And your friend popped up again, Doctor.
Yes.
I wouldn't call. Should I call him?
No, don't call him name. We know who it is. The man who names starts with a capital S.
All right. So coming soon. Coming soon to
an area near you. Don't worry.
They say why worry and get wrinkles when you could smile and get dimples. So that's something you should think about, because Jason has something at the end of his program that he says, if you think
if you think health is expensive,
try sickness. And if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Yeah, exactly. I like that. That was well prepared. Yes. By the way. Yeah. As we continue on DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, 2 minutes after 3 o'clock, as we head to the strawberry patch. This is the program Support Your Health Naturally, weekly from 2:15 to 3:15. And as the technology grows, Doctor is growing with the technology. And that branch of Longdonville
Yes.
reminded me of just now a minute. Dina asked the question, when is the branch in Sangre Grande going to be open?
Who asked
It,
that? Dana?
Dina, yeah.
Dana ain't easy. Tell Dana we're working on that soon enough, man. Soon enough.
Okay.
Soon enough.
Okay, you heard that, Dina? That good girl. Right.
Yes. Tell Dana soon enough.
Very good.
What are we gonna be having? Of course we're looking at doing some work with the communities. So we're gonna actually doing some stuff at the community centers and that type of thing. But those things are gonna be coming in the near future, especially for the south area. So those of you who live in places like Barapore, Princess Tongue, Penal, for that daily office, you could always contact us. We actually do a lot of health fairs as well, and health seminars for even churches, women's group, the old age groups as well, because there are a lot of persons out there. We're actually going to be starting a lot of nutritional and diet support groups, because I think in my personal experience, you have a lot of persons, like for example, you have like lupus support groups, you have diabetes support groups, but a lot of these groups, you're in there, but what do you really get from it? What type of support you getting? I mean, is it that you're going to call and sit down and discuss the disease? Okay, good. But at the end of the day, you want to feel better. You want to make some sort of progress in that aspect as it relates to that disease. So, one of the things Batson Associates is going to do very shortly is those support groups for a lot of diseases where you could actually have tangible information. So apart from our lives and whatnot, you actually have information that could help you as it relates to the perspective of nutrition. You see, a lot of persons, as I said, do not understand the forms in which nutrition comes. So, like for example, someone might talk about vitamins, for example. Are vitamins important? So if I was to ask someone listening to this program, do you take vitamins? They might say yes. Somebody might say no. I might ask, what vitamin do you take? They might say, well, okay, I take a multivitamin, and I may take a vitamin C. I might ask them, well, how much of those vitamins do you use on a daily basis? So they might say, well, usually a multivitamin is to be taken once a day. Most people take that with their breakfast, or maybe a heavy meal, which should be a lunch. And then some people might take vitamin C. You might take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So you might take one with breakfast. And then you might have your medication. So you might be a diabetic. So you might be taking metformin. You might be taking one in the morning, one in the evening. Metformin usually comes in a 500 milligram. So that might be 1,000 milligram you're taking for the day. You might also be hypertensive. So you're taking maybe an enalpril or an ifedapine. Okay, good. Now, the thing is, in the grand scheme of things, you are severely starved. You are severely malnourished, just by that example I gave you alone there. So it begs the question, what type of result would you get later on? So as you start to age, with that protocol that you're doing, you might be drinking sufficient amounts of water. You might have one or two little bad habits. You might be a coffee drinker. You might be drinking coffee every day. You might be someone who uses a lot of soda. You might be someone, you love a soft drink. If every soft drink, you have to have 3, 4, 5 for the day. So, you need to do some changes. You need to make some adjustments, because those things catch up with you. The thing is, you reach a point in your life where the foolishness that you do eventually catch up with you. It does. It does, especially as regards to what you put in your body. So always remember that everything you put into your body, whether it's food, it is drink, regardless of what you think, you are going to have a consequence later on to pay. Your body don't forget enough. Your body doesn't forget. Take what I'm telling you. It does not forget. And when you treat it badly, it remembers you. It remembers you. You remember we were speaking about hypertension, and we were speaking about kidney. Do you know that when you reach a stage where you get renal failure, it is virtually impossible to correct that? Batson Associates stands out as an organization, and I say this without any apology. We stand out as an organization who can help kidney patients. Because if you go to any nephrologist, with a lot of the blood results that we get people coming to us with, that we are actually able to help, those nephrologists will tell you that that cannot be corrected. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. And the reason that why we get the results that we get is because of the training that we have, right? The training that I have. Because we have the ability to now understand the body from a holistic perspective and able to treat with that. But the point I'm making is that constant abuse of your body on a daily basis, you're going to have consequences to pay. Remember, your body replenishes itself on what you put in on a daily basis. Always remember that. You get new red blood cells every what? Every 120 days. Every 4 months, you get new red blood cells. The red blood cells that you had, what month we in? We are in July. So let's say, for argument's sake, your first set of blood cells for this year changed at the end of, so let's say December was one set, and now you would have had 4 months, which is going to be from January to April. So if for January, for April, you have blood cells that are going to last that 4 months, it means from May to August, you have a next set of blood cells. So what you eat, or what you would have eaten from January to April, would have affected the new blood cells that you get from May to August. You all understand what I'm saying? So if you constantly eat nonsense and constantly ill-treat your body, you're going to reach a point where you're going to actually have a problem with your weight. So you're going to be obese. You're going to start to put on too much of weight. You're going to have problems with your breathing. So all of a sudden, you're going to realize, but I'm not breathing the way that I'm supposed to. The possibility exists you may have some problems with your lungs. And that's a serious thing. And I could tell you from experience, you don't want to have a problem where your lungs actually starts to want to give out on you. That could still correct, it could still fix. But the problem, two of the most unforgiving diseases that they have is renal failure and high blood pressure. High blood pressure is a very unforgiving situation. Because do you know you could go to sleep as a hypertensive person and get a blind? Do you know you could lose your eyesight during sleep? Do you know you could get a stroke during sleep? That's what happens to them. You know, there are strokes. People, so let me give you an example. So if you are hypertensive and your blood pressure goes so high at night, it becomes so elevated, you can actually suffer a stroke during your sleep. And strokes, depending on the side of the brain and the part of the brain where you get the strokes, is going to determine where is affected. So that is why you should check out our circulation regeneration tea, this product right here. Very nice tea. It's a well crafted tea. You could just use like half teaspoon in. I use big teacups. I am not one of those who use those little. That frustrates the living daylights out of me. Don't give a man like me and give me a little cup so to drink in. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. We want maybe a 16-ounce tea mug, or maybe a 20 ounce. I have some really large ones. I think they may be about 24 ounces. Some of those cups. And you put your tea in there and you have it throughout the day. And the thing is, with those teas, you actually have the ability to assist and regulate your blood cholesterol. This tea actually helps with high blood pressure. It also helps with poor circulation, so things like pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet, those type of things. So, get some information on that. Keep in mind our symposium, which is going to be taking place at our Shogunas office. That's taking place on a Sunday. So we decided to do it on a Sunday so that you have no excuse. And it's going to be Sunday afternoon. The first one is going to be taking place on Sunday, the 25th of August. That's at 182 Montrose Main Road, Shogunas. That's this office, at the office in Shogunas, head office. And of course, you can call those telephone numbers there to register. That number again is 222-8261, 222-8261, or 3149975. You can also join us in a little while. We have our segment on Synergy TV, and that's usually from 5 to 5:15. And again, we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Keep in mind, we also have Christmas in July. I forgot to mention that DJ Mamu spoke about Christmas, and we actually have a Christmas in July promotion where you actually get 25% discount off our circulation protocol. So those of you who are having problems with swelling, pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning on their feet, do you make sure and do that circulation protocol there. Keep in mind too as well, that circulation regeneration tea. We have a question from Ms. Jennifer Valentine, who is asking if you can still use the tea and blood pressure meds. Yes, you can, but keep in mind that you must monitor your blood pressure, because you're going to reach a point in time where you're going to have to most likely adjust the medication because of now cleaning up the system. One of the things that tea actually does, the circulation regeneration, is actually improve blood circulation and improve the nitric oxide in the blood. And nitric oxide is very important for vasodilation and of course vasoconstriction. Vasodilation, of course, opening the blood vessels, vasoconstriction, closing of the blood vessels. So keep in mind that again, those telephone numbers there, keep in mind our symposium, and of course, keep in mind that special that we're having with Nerve Restore. We have a discount on Nerve Restore, so you can call the office. Those of you remember, we have that special executive consultation with your live blood, dry blood. Call the office, get that, and we also have our pensioner special as well. Miss Valentine there, Jennifer Valentine, out of Texas, she said my blood pressure was 109 with the T. Okay, so it means Valentine, that's really good. You may need to look at the blood pressure medication. You might have to adjust that. Keep in mind, always test, look at your numbers, and of course monitor, and we would advise accordingly. Of course, only improvement going forward. So as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. To the listeners of DJ Mamu Radio TT.com, remember that program again, Support Your Health Naturally, every Thursday from 2:15 to 3:15. DJ Mamu, sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You forgot to mention about the think part.
Sorry?
If you think education is expensive.
Oh, good. Yes, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance.
And the other one was,
if you think health is expensive, try sickness.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I know you're overworked, you're overworked.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the Tobago line actually will do you well. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yes,
so we've been speaking with Dr. Jason Batson of Batson and Associates. Today's program, Support Your Health Naturally, weekly from 2:15 to 3:15. Thank you, Doctor. Wish you all the best. Take care of your health and be successful in all your attempts to make other people happy and healthy in this nation of ours, Trinidad and Tobago. Stay tuned to DJ Mamu Radio TT.com. We have some music coming our way. Then at 5 o'clock, we have a sponsored 1 hour program going into a 6 o'clock sponsored segment. Stay tuned. DJ Mamu Radio TT.com.